Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to another one of our Chavruta sessions live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. I really hope you're enjoying this series. I know he's gone to great extent to provide the material, beautiful material. I really enjoy the Kuzari, and I look forward to hearing the rabbi's input today. We had a good meeting on Tuesday with my Chavruta partner, Jacob, in Paris, France. Always a good time, and so let's just jump right in and say hello to the rabbi. Shalom, Rabbi Goldberg. How are you today? I've got Alex up on the screen. There you are.
Shalom, Rabbi.
Good evening, everybody. Now we can hear me. Everybody can hear me.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you fine, Rabbi.
Something excellent. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good to see you all. It's a pleasure to be in this journey. It's a very unique journey that I'm really happy to take part of it and to be part of this thing. I prefer to start straight ahead. It's okay then that we will start learning straight ahead. Let's dive inside. Last week, it's very important for me to mention it and to strengthen this understanding. Okay. Last week we saw the beginning of the Jewish faith. And the beginning was very confusing. I think this is the main word I can use. It was a bit confusing. Why? Because it speaks about miracles that happened to the Hebrew nation. And when you read it a bit more with the example that he is giving about someone that is coming from very far India in those days, and you realizing what he is speaking about, what the Kuzari speaks about, you realize that he is not referring to the miracles. The miracles are just bypassed, by the way, something that happened. And the main issue is that he is trying to emphasize how the Hebrew nation is being guided by God to this, we'll say, to those days, until those days. It started already in the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers, patriarchs, and then it continued with the Hebrew nation being in Egypt and going out from Egypt, coming and conquering the lands, the Hebrew lands. And the main point that he wants to address is that the Hebrew nation is a phenomena that can feel comfortable with the guidance of God along history. It is also with a bit of miracles inside. I'm not saying that there isn't any miracles, but the presence of God you can see through the Hebrew nation. This is basically what he's saying, or the main point. And this is why I sent you also on the email, and we added it also to the page. Let me share the screen for a moment. In of last week lesson, I think it's here. This is it. Okay, this is what we saw last week. We saw that he's opening with a thing that I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who led the children of Israel out of Egypt. You see, he's speaking about accompanying with the Israelites in all over history. And the Kuzari is against this idea, but I want to show this also in the Maimonides. And this is something that I sent on the email. If you missed it, now we will read it inside with the Maimonides, with the Maimon, what he wrote down in the Mishnah Torah, okay? In the Hilchot Yesodei Torah, he is explaining this. Please, Dan, if you can read it. It starts, let's from here to here, please.
Okay, the Rambam says, what is the source of our faith in him? The revelation on Mount Sinai, our eyes saw and not a stranger's. Our ears heard and no one else's. There were fire, thunder, and lightning. He entered the thick clouds. A voice spoke to him, and we heard. Moses, Moses, go, he said to them, from Deuteronomy 5, verses 22 to 24. This is how Deuteronomy 5:4 says, God spoke to you face to face, and in Deuteronomy 5:3 it is said, God did not make this covenant with our ancestors, but with us, who are all here living today. Before this revelation, their faith was not unshakable. It was susceptible to doubts and uncertainties. How can we define this belief, given that it occurred thousands of years ago? All of Israel witnessed Moses' appointment in the revelation at Mount Sinai, and he was no longer required to perform miracles for them.
And before that, okay, a few sentences before that, the Maimonides is expressing, okay, the Jews. If you read this sentence also, please, okay. So the miracles is not something that is giving us the certainty. Miracles always is giving us still the shakable belief. Why do we believe in Moses and all of these prophecies? Because we all were on the stage of prophecy, and we all heard God nominating Moses to teach us his Torah. And it's something a bit else than what people think because of the miracles. We have some sort of I will say, a witness, forefathers, okay, who were in this situation, in this era of God, and they saw God nominating Moses. It's true that also Moses did few miracles. I'm not saying that he didn't do them, but this is not the reason why we believe in Moses or why we believe in God. We believe in God because we feel his presence is among us, among the Hebrew nation, and he's journeying with us along history. And this is bringing us to the next question, and this is where we need to continue to the next stage. And the Kuzari will say this. He said it already once last week, but he will say this again now in the part that we're going to learn now, part 6. And the most hardest question that he have, and this is how it starts. Please read number 32.
Al-Kuzari says, if this be so, then your belief is confined to yourselves.
Only to us. We have had a feeling, okay, we feel that we have the relation with God. We feel that he is walking with us along history. We understand that he is doing it, and we have all the prophets that are becoming true, okay? It started with Abraham when God told him that his kids will be in a different country, and they will come back to their homeland after that. And it happened. Now the prophets said to us also a lot of things. And if so, this belief is only for the Hebrew nation. That's it. Nothing else. And now we need to start to realize what the Kuzari is going to do in this part of today. And this is why I also split it to two and not in one thing. I will say in principle, and then we want to dive inside a bit and to see what he is saying. Rabbi Yehuda Levi is trying to show the principle is very simple. The Jewish, the Hebrew nation is like the heart inside, I will say, the whole humanity. Now, listen good to what I'm going to say. I never saw a heart going by itself in the streets, and I never saw a person going without a heart, his heart, on the streets. You need to have the heart and you need to have the body. The body and the heart are going combined together. And this is basically what Rabbi Yehuda Levi is going to teach us. What is the importance, what is the level of the Hebrew nation when you compare this to others. And it's something that is confusing a lot of people. Again, when you read it, a lot of people are getting confused with the relation between the Hebrew nation and the rest of the world. So let's move, I will say, a bit fast on the wordings here. let me ask a few questions that you will answer on the chat inside, and we will try to be very exact to understand what's happening here. So please, if it's okay, let's read until the number 43, please.
Okay, Rabbi. Let me just move your image out of the screen. Okay, the rabbi replies, yes, but any Gentile who joins us unconditionally shares our good fortune, without, however, being quite equal to us. If the law were binding on us only because God created us, the white and the black man would be equal, since he created them all. But the law was given to us because he led us out of Egypt and remained attached to us because we are the pick of mankind. In 34, Al-Kuzari says, Jew, I see thee quite altered, and thy words are poor after having been so pleasant. The rabbi says, poor or pleasant, give me your attention and let me express myself more fully. Al-Kuzari says, say what you will. The rabbi says, the laws of nature comprise nurture, growth, and propagation, with their powers and all conditions attached thereto. This is particularly the case with plants and animals, to the exclusions of earth, stone, metals, and elements. Al-Kuzari says, well, this is a maxim which requires further explanation, though it be true. The rabbi says, as regards to the soul, it is given to all animated beings. The result is movement, willpower, external as well as internal senses, and such like. Number 40, this too cannot be contradicted by Al-Kuzari. Then the rabbi continues, the intellect is man's birthright above all living beings. This leads to the development of his faculties, his home, his country, from which arise administrative and regulative laws.
Okay, and this is also true. Before we will go to the next stage, first of all, let's see what's happening here. Let's understand what's happening in this part of the discussion. The rabbi is saying, after when the Al-Kuzari understand what the rabbi said, he realized that the belief of this God is only for the Jewish nation. And the rabbi is saying to him, right, you're more than right. We are the only one who are obligated to do that. Nobody else. We know today, especially all of those who are sitting in this Zoom room, and all of those who are listening to us, that the Hebrew nation have 613 commandments, while the others have less, only 7. So we understand what he is saying. But on the other side, it is really annoying, especially in the modern world, to say that there is a distinguish between the Hebrew nation and the rest. Now, in our days today, it's much easier to say it because, we see this. There's a lot of people all over the world who want to take the Hebrew nation out from this world today. By the way, I saw that yesterday there was a very big demonstration in Canada for who stands with Israel. So thank you very much. Kudos to you. I saw that. But we have also a lot of people who wants to take out the Israelites, go out from this world. We don't want to see it. And Rabbi Levi is doing some very interesting, I will say, trick of minds, using the philosophers and their, I will say, understanding of this world. They splitted this world to 4 levels. They started with the stones and metals, all the things that are stable and not growing. They are the fundamental material of this world. Then we're speaking about the plants, and the plants are growing, or they're starting to grow up. On the other side, the plants are not moving anywhere. They are still sticked. They are stuck in the same place. Then we're going to the animals that have some sort of a soul, feeling, and they're also moving from one place to another. And the next stage is that we have the intellect. The intellect is our possibility to go out from nature and to build up the structure of our, I will say, environment, we are living in an environment that is not in the nature. We're not in the caves. We're building up buildings. We're putting the water is coming to us. We don't need even to pipe it too much. And in most of the places of the world today, in the modern world, right, we are organizing ourselves. The structure of the, I would say, the intellect that we have is organizing us under, taking us out from the nature, okay, and we managing to build up ourselves. And this is, I will say, the 4 levels that the philosophers spoke about. They spoke about the simple metals, okay, simple stone, simple material. Then we have the plants. Above that, we have the animals. And above that, we have the human being with the intellect. By the way, all of this have in the Hebrew language the word of speech. Okay? The metals, the stones, it's a quiet. The word is domem, quiet. The plants is siach hasadeh, it's talking. The animals is also something that is chavedat, chayot. The chayot, the animals, is also talking. And the human being is also being, I will say, mentioned as something that can speak. We're speaking now one with each other. We moving ideas one from each other. Okay, so we have the possibility of speaking. So all of those, I will say, levels, all of those 4 levels, those are the beginning of everything. And now let's continue a bit for this tricky question of the rabbi. And the rabbi is asking, okay, please, Dan, read from 43 to 46, please.
Okay, as long as you scroll it up. Yeah, okay. So this is also true, Kuzari said, and the rabbi said, well, which is the next highest degree? And Kuzari says, the degree of great sages. And the rabbi says, I only mean that degree which separates those who occupy it from the physical point of view, as the plant is separated from inorganic things, or man from animals. The differences as to quantity, however, are endless, as they are only accidental and do not really form a degree.
And the answer of the Kuzari for that, if this is to be so, then there is no degree above men among tangible things. This is what the Kuzari is answering. Because the philosophers maybe are very smart people, but to be very smart, it's only on the same scale of those who are a bit less smart. But it's not a full difference of degree. The difference between animals and the plants and the animals is very clear. The difference between men and animal is also very clear. But the difference between philosophers are human beings. They also went to the toilet. They also have kids. They also need to eat. The same thing. The only thing is that they have a lot of a very unique or very bright mind. Okay, like if you appear them to others. And now let's read for a moment the next level, the next degree. And I'm asking you to listen careful to the words that Dan is going to read, because after that I'm asking you to try to type on the in the chats, how do you understand this next level? Okay, and this is let's read for a moment the last 3 from 47 to 49, please.
All right, Rabbi, I'm getting people requesting the "Don't Miss Out New Direction" label you've got at the bottom of the screen. Can you click out that? Okay. The bottom of your screen, there's a "Don't Miss Out New Direction."
Where do I see it?
Your bottom right.
I don't know.
The bottom of your page.
Yes.
Thank you. Please. Yeah, I just got a request for that. Okay, so, yeah, Kuzari had said, if this be so, then there is no degree above man among tangible things. The rabbi responds, if we find a man who walks into the fire without hurt, or abstains from food for some time without starving, on whose face shines a light which the eye cannot bear, who is never ill nor ages, until having reached his life's natural end, who die spontaneously just as a man retires to his couch to sleep on an appointed day and hour, equipped with the knowledge of what is hidden as to past and future, is such a degree not visibly distinguished from the ordinary human degree. Kuzari replies, well, this is indeed the divine and seraphic degree. If it exists at all, it belongs to the province of the divine influence, but not to that of the intellectual, human, or natural world. In other words, something not achievable by the natural mind. The rabbi, these are some of the characteristics of the undoubted prophets through whom God made himself manifest, and who also made known that there is a God who guides them as he wishes, according to their obedience or disobedience. He revealed to those prophets that which was hidden, and taught them how the world was created, how the generations prior to the flood followed each other, and how they reckoned their descent from Adam. He described the flood and the origin of the 70 nations from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, how the languages were split up, and where men sought their habitations, how arts arose, how they built cities, and the chronology from Adam up to this day.
Now, what I'm asking now is please try to type down in a sentence, what is this? How do you define this level of this man that the rabbi is describing? Please allow yourself to type inside the chat. Okay, enlightenment, prophet, spoke with God about many things, holy, spiritual, prophetic level. Anyone else that want to do that? Okay, excellent, done. Prophetic degree. Person who have those, well, should be a prophet. Okay, now let me show you one thing that first of all, you wrote the answer, okay? You're speaking about prophet, you're speaking about something that is a bit in a different level. Let's see for a moment what is the definition that the Kuzari is giving, okay? And this is something that I want to teach us also in the technical way of learning. We are grasping the things and we're giving it in a different words, different wording. It's nice, but there is also what the Kuzari himself is saying, okay? This is indeed, and now he's calling it the divine and seraphic degree, you see? So he's saying it's a divine thing, if it exists at all. He doesn't believe 100%, okay? It belongs to the province, again, of the divine influence. This word, the divine influence, is something, I will say, a new dimension, divine influence, okay? But not that of the intellectual. It's a bit above the intellectual, okay? Or natural world. We're speaking about something of a divine influence. There is a divine influence in this world. And all the things that you said, it's right. I'm not saying, okay, to speak about the prophecy, this is exactly the prophecy. This is Moses. He's explaining now about Moses. But I want us to be, and it's very important when we learn from a book, we need also to understand what are the wordings that the book is using, or what are the wordings that Rabbi Yehuda Halevi wrote with this thing. He invented, I will say, this wording of the word divine influence. There is a divine influence in this world. Where can we find the divine influence in this world? In the Hebrew nation. In the Hebrew nation, along history, we will find the divine influence. Can we prove that God created the world? The answer is no. You know why? Because there were no men in the era that God created the world. So we can't prove it. We assume, this is what we saw last week, we assume that if he's speaking with us and we see that he is giving us some sort of a divine influence here in this world, and he also said that he created the world, so we assume that he did it. Can we prove it? No. What can we prove? We can prove that they have some sort of a divine influence with us, among us. The most amazing thing of this thing is that he is only speaking about Moses. Now, did we have such a prophecy like Moses since then? The answer is no. Moses was one league ahead of everybody else, above everybody else. But Moses, and this is something that we all need to understand, didn't came to his level without the Hebrew nation. I want to show this to you for a moment, okay? Let's jump for a moment to Exodus. Sorry, moving you a bit. So we'll find it. No? Why isn't it working? The email is not working. The internet is not working. Why? Can you hear me? Can you hear me fine? Dan, I think that you need to open the Exodus 32, please. Try to find, maybe you will find, you will open it before me. I don't know why it's not working.
Rabbi, refresh your browser, please.
This is what I'm trying to do, you see. You see. I didn't open it before. Sorry, show this again. Just a moment. I'll open the book and I will tell you exactly where to. Just a moment. See, we have a book also. Unbelievable. We also have books from the old days. Yes. 32, verse number 7. Verse number 7, please. Scroll down to verse number 7, 32. In no. Please show your okay, so I'll open it. Okay, I'll open it. Sorry. Verse, okay, we're speaking about. Okay. We are here. Let's go to 32, verse number 7. And in verse number 7, God is saying to Moses that they did the golden calf. Please read verse number 7.
And the Lord said to Moses, Go, descend, for your people that you have brought up from the land of Egypt have acted corruptly.
Fair enough, but let's understand exactly what it says here. To understand exactly, let's see Rashi that is quoting from our sages. Let's go now to number 7 again.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had my microphone silenced. And the Lord said to Moses, Go, descend, for your people that you have brought up from the land of Egypt have acted corruptly. Go, descend, Rashi says, descend from your high position. I gave you this high position only for their sake. At that time, Moses was banished by a decree of the heavenly tribunal.
So when he is speaking here only, I'm jumping back to the Kuzari. The Kuzari is speaking about the high degree of Moses. But Moses also, all of his degree was only because of the Hebrew nation. It's not for himself. He was, I will say, the person that is, I will say, got nominated appointed for the Hebrew nation. He came to this degree because the Hebrew nation in his generation were in a high degree. After that, we have a lot of people who have this divine influence in them. We had for 1,200 years, we had the prophecy. For 1,200 years, we saw people that are speaking or explaining to us the divine influence. It says that when the Greeks came to the Hebrew land, and we saw this when we spoke about the ethics of the fathers, so they appreciated very much Shimon HaTzadik. They accepted him, and they appreciated him very much. And they said, the Greeks, that those Jews are very smart people, and they're speaking about something that is called prophecy, divine influence. We don't know exactly what they're speaking about. We can't understand them because it's something it's an inside thing of the Hebrew nation. And now this is something that I want to clear up. Okay, we saw here what we saw today. Okay, in this part is that the Hebrew nation is by itself. They are the only one. How did he start it? He's not apologizing for that. Okay, when he's saying to him, if this is be so, then your belief is confined only for yourselves. And he's answering the rabbi, yes, Nahon, it's true, only for us. And he's explaining, we are in a different level. And now, when we come to this, I will say, understanding, the main question that is being arised is, what is happening with the rest of the world? Those who are not Jews, are they obligated to this God? Are they in the same level? The Jews are feeling high, how do you call it, much better than others? Those are the questions that we need to deal with. And here I want to share something that I'm asking us not to be confused, and I must explain it a bit, and listen good, listen careful. If a monkey would like to come and to do conversion to Judaism, is he able to convert to Judaism? Of course not. Of course not. The only human being, or the only thing in this world that can do conversion is someone that is not from the Hebrew nation, but he can do conversion. So there is a possibility of moving, I will call it, from being a non-Jewish to become a Jewish. And this is one of the things that people are misconcluding with this when they're learning this part of the Kuzari. They think that the Hebrew nation is another level up from the rest of the world, just like the animals are one level up from the plants, and just like the plants are one level up from all the basic material in this world. But this is not true. This is not what the Rabbi Yehuda Levi is saying. And you can learn it from the second part when he's explaining that the Hebrew nation among the nations is like the heart with the body. And I will ask a very simple question. Did God created the Hebrew nation, or God created the world? What do you say? Who did God created? He created the Hebrew nation or the world? It's very simple. The answer is very simple. In the first, I will say it like that. First of all, he created the Hebrew nation. The first 2,000 years, we don't have the Hebrew nation. First of all, he created the world. The first 2,000 years, we never saw the Hebrew nation here. Only after 2,000 years, the Hebrew nation came. Before that, we didn't have the Hebrew nation. So the Hebrew nation came here to do something that was lucky, okay, that the world lost. But God created, first of all, the world, and His interest with all of the world. There is something that got broken along the 2,000 years. It started with the Noah, with the ark, that God demolished all the world. And then there was another thing that happened, and this is the story of the Babylon Tower, where we got spread over all over the world. And the Hebrew nation, I will say it like that, each nation in this world have some sort of a color, okay? The German people have the red color. The Lithuanian people have a blue color, okay? The people from the North America have the yellow color, okay? Each one of us have a different color. But there is, when we want to bring all of those flowers with all of the different colors to one place, we need a string that will tie them together. The Hebrew nation have no color. The Hebrew nation is a string that is managing to tie all of us together. I will show you something from the last 2 months, okay? From the last few days, okay? How many people hate the Hebrew nation? Now, I want to tell you all, calm down. It's not easy to be hated so much. But on the other side, those who hate us have also the possibility to love us. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Okay, but they have some sort of a feeling against us. So this is one of the ways to get united together, the Hebrew nation. The Hebrew nation have a mission. The mission of the Hebrew nation is to be the string that is gathering each one with each uniqueness of the nations to become one family. This is the mission of the Hebrew nation. It's a hard mission. It's not so comfortable. We showed already once that Abel, okay, when he didn't do his job, God wiped him off from this world. So we have a job of education to the world, and if we are not doing it, we're getting punished. We're going to the exile. It's a different mission, but it's not. We are the only one who doesn't have any color, any uniqueness, because our mission is to relate with everybody and to manage to bring us all to become back one family. Let me show you this in the wording of the Torah. Okay, let's jump for a moment to the wording of the Torah. When God is speaking with Abraham, and God is saying to him, I want to bring you to become a big nation. Okay, so let's jump for a moment to the Genesis chapter 12. We saw this more than once, but it's very related now to this thing that we have here. Please read verses 1 to 3.
All right. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 to 3. And the Lord said to Abram, Go forth from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will aggrandize your name, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse, and all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you.
There's a difference if you're speaking about a nation, okay? The default of one nation to another nation is to have fights, because each one of those nations need a bit of more land and place to live. But when you're speaking about families, the default of families is to be together. Family, people are living together one with each other, okay? Brothers, sisters, whatever it is. So it starts with the mission to be a great nation that will bring blessing to the world. And what will happen from there? At the end of the days, it will be that all the families of the earth will be blessed by the Hebrew nation. Will become one family. In the family, there are brothers, sisters, there are different nations. This one is a blue, this one is red, this one is a different color, whatever it is. Each one of us have a different uniqueness. But there is one nation that is giving the blessing, that is gathering all of us together. Today, we have a lot of hatred. Okay, fair enough. But it will change. I know what the history is going towards, okay? What is the next stage of history? It will take time. It might be that there will be even a bigger war than we see now, because there is some sort of a spillover of the things that's happening today in Israel to the whole world, in the campuses, whatever it is, a lot of places. Fair enough. So we don't know how long it will take, but it will come at the end. We will be in a stage where all the families, we will become back families, one with each other, with the blessings of the Hebrew nation. Because the Hebrew nation doesn't have any color to say that we are very unique with ourselves. Our color is with other colors to combine all of us together, to become together, the togetherness. And now when you understand that, you're starting to realize Rabbi Levi is speaking here about the divine presence that the Hebrew nation is bringing to the world and teaching to the world, to the rest of the people here, about this divine presence. One of the reasons of the hateness against the Hebrew nation today is because of their divine presence that is bringing to the world. Are we one stage ahead? No. We just have a different mission. It's not that it's the difference between the animals and the human being is a stage. The difference between the human being and those who are bringing the divine presence already today to the world is only one stage ahead. While at the end, the days of the Messiah, okay, the days of that you will see the presence of the world, the divine presence in this world, all of us will be in this stage of the holiest. And this is what is being written in Zechariah chapter 11, that all of the world will come to this level of the divine presence, and they will come to Jerusalem to get the blessings. They will send always people. So all of the nations can be in this level. It's a question of and when exactly the Hebrew nation will bring us to this acknowledgement. I will say another thing that is very important for me to say, to share, okay, that is related with the things that we saw today. And this is where I'm getting a lot of questions about, is it, I want to, I'm a Noahide, but I'm not satisfied, and I want to become Jewish. I want to convert. Now, I'm not against conversions, okay? If someone wants to convert, I'm not going to stop him. But on the other side, I want to give an example that you will start to realize what is the importance of being Noahide and not trying to become Jewish, or not trying to convert, okay? I will give a story that I saw. Okay, I went once to Lithuania, okay, Lita. And there was a person that wanted very much to convert. On the other side, he is a native person there, and he was teaching for more than 20 years things from the Hebrew tradition without saying that it's Hebrew, without saying that it's Jewish, because if he will say that it's Jewish, the Lithuanian people won't listen to him. And he even managed to gather a stadium of 7,000 people and to teach them Jewish ideas, but without saying that it's Jewish, okay? And I told him, okay, if you will convert, what will happen? Who is going to teach the people from Lithuania? And what I want to say is very simple. When we were a soul up there in heaven, we had no possibility of doing anything physical in this world. We were only an idea, okay? Some sort of a soul as an idea that is around here somewhere. I don't know where, maybe in heaven, I don't know. Now, when God said to us, called us and said to us, look, it's your time to be in this world, he gave us the possibility to decide. Are we going to be in a Jewish family, or are we going to be in a non-Jewish family? And when we decided to be in a non-Jewish family, it's because we understood that we have a mission there for the people where we grew up, the people for us or from us. And it's a different mission. Me as a rabbi who grew up in a Hebrew family, in a Hebrew environment, that my grandfather was a rabbi and his father was a rabbi, I won't be able, even though I came from Lithuania, or my parents came from the United States, I will never be a native person there like the people in those places. This is something that only those who grew up in those places have the possibilities. Therefore, there is also the mission for, I will say, the Noahide that can do things that we as Jewish won't be able to do. And we need to realize that. There is the importance of the Jewish people, who is bringing the divine as a whole nation. And there is also the importance of the Noahide people, who is bringing the divine and the message to their nation. We don't need to be upset from any, I will say, place where we are. We need to be grateful and thank God for what we have. Let me see the question. I see that there is a question here that is very nice. Do the Jews not have a kind of separate soul? The answer for that is, I will say it like that. A soul is something that you can't measure, and it's something that is related with all sorts of ideas above what we understand and we can use here, or we can do here. I'll say it like that. It's not something that you can measure. Our sages are saying that the soul of the Hebrew person is a bit different than the soul of a non-Hebrew person. Okay, what exactly is the differences, and how exactly it's coming to the reality? Sorry, it's very hard to say. And those who are sticking with the Hebrew nation, becoming Noahide and sticking with the Hebrew nation, the differences is very. If there are differences, it's something that I don't know. And in our sages, they're saying that regardless your skin color, regardless if you male or female, regardless if you are Jewish or non-Jewish, according to your behavior, God's presence will be with you. So I don't know exactly what is this story of the souls. People are learning the Tanya book, and they're saying all sorts of ideas that there is a very big debate how to learn the Tanya also. So I think that this question is not something that I can explain in this world today. There isn't any physical difference between Jewish and non-Jewish. There's a difference between the missions of the Jewish and non-Jewish. That's it. And when someone is getting closer with the Jewish people, he is also doing missions on the same level, in his level. And it's okay. It's fine. Okay? So I answered this one. Noahide laws unite different people. I'm not sure that I understand this question, Michael. I agree with you that the Jewish, just a moment, Michael. I agree with you that the Jewish, you know what, let me open the microphone. People, if you want to ask something, ask it. Don't write, ask it, please. Open your mic and ask.
Yeah, Michael, you want to go first?
Yes, Michael, please. Where are you? No, Michael, don't be nervous. I'm a person like everybody else. I'm a person like everybody else. Everyone here in this class is okay. I'm not sure that I understand 100% what you asked, Michael. Alex, okay, you want to ask it in your mouth, your question?
So I don't have any questions. So that was just a comment. So just trying to understand what you are just saying. So like we are part of the same body, but as you said, the Jews are the heart, and we're like the hands to spread that light to our nations, right? That's
Yes,
what
exactly. This is what I said. And the Kuzari is saying it very clear in his second essay. He's saying that the Jews among the nations is like the heart among the body, and we are all together one unit. We'll call it like that. The whole world is one unit, and we need to start to learn how to live together instead of fighting one against each other. The truth is that usually the animals are not fighting on the same. Monkeys are not fighting with monkeys. The different monkeys, yes, but the human being is the only one who is killing each other along history. But we are supposed to live together, and we have enough resources in this world to learn to live together and to bring the world to a better place, a better stage. And we are all one unit, yes. The Jewish, God didn't put the Jewish nation in Mars and the rest of the world in the earth. He combined us, all of us together here. So we need to work together. And each one of us have a bit of a different mission. Michael, I will try to understand exactly what is your question. I'm not 100% sure that I understand the question. And don't be nervous. Everything is fine. Every question is good. I will say, if I understand correctly what you said, Michael, okay? You're saying that the 7 laws is managing to unite all of us together. And I agree with that. One of the most important things in the 7 laws is that the basics thing of the 7 laws is a few things that you're not allowed to do. Now, this is the most common base that we can ask one from each other. Don't steal. So it's very easy for each one of us not to steal. Okay? It's not asking us to do something active. When to stand up, to raise up, and to do something inactive, it's much harder. So first of all, the 6 basic laws are not to do things, not to do bad things, something that all of the humanity can do. On the other side, a lot of people who are sitting in this room also, I know, in a personal level, asking me to do active actions with God. And for that, we have the Brit Shalom book, okay, that is giving us, okay, fair enough. The Brit Shalom book that is giving also a lot of active ideas how to get closer to God. But each one of you is not obligated to do that. It's more that each one of you have the possibility of doing good deeds and good actions for getting closer with God. For example, give charity for those who don't have, okay, in your community. For example, to pray to God, to say thank you to God and to ask from Him help with your with health and with wealth, all those things. So there are things that you can do in an active way, but the laws are managing to bring us to the common simple basic thing for getting together.
Rabbi Shoshana had her hand up, but then she took it down, so I don't know if she had a question still.
Shoshana, feel comfortable to ask. Yes, please.
Shalom, Rabbi.
Hi. What is
Thank
the time
you,
by
God,
you
for
in India?
helping me.
Sorry. What is the time by you in India now?
I have still 8 minutes for another day.
Wow.
It's 11:53.
Wow, very nice. Amazing. Good to you. Yes, please. Yes, Shoshana.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yes, I'm listening.
So when the rabbi is explaining everything, why didn't the people think he only told about the Jewish God? He only proved that the Jews have a true God, but he didn't prove the God is one. So they might think each nation have each God like that. Why he didn't prove the God is one with the philosophers?
It's a very nice question. Thank you very much. And those are the main 2 points, okay, last week and this week. And the answer is very simple. He is speaking about a God that the Hebrew nation have some sort of experience with this God. To speak about one God, to speak about God who created the world, to speak about all those things, it's only in my logic. I don't have any experience with it. Now, I think that I said it last week, and I will mention this again. If not, so it's okay if I didn't say it. Why God created us in a way that we need to eat? Why? Why do we need to eat? It's a lot of hassles. Ask Angelica, believe me, ask her. You will see that she needs to prepare a lot of food for her husband and also for me when I'm coming to visit her. And she needs to organize a lot of things. And then she needs to also to wash the dishes and people need to go to the toilet. Why do we need to eat? God wanted us to have the experience that we can't stay alive without unless we're getting something from outside of us, a bit of assistance from outside of us. And it will teach us that we need to have assistance from God, also from the spiritual level, on the spiritual level. And now, if you want to speak about God, the Hebrew person is speaking, first of all, with his experience. I have an experience. I don't know if you're speaking about God, created the world, punishing, whatever. I don't know. I felt it among my nation, this God with his divine presence with us. He gave Abraham a prophet that the Hebrew nation will be slaves in the Egyptians' world, and then they will come back, and this will happen. And then he gave us also more prophecies, and everything happened. And he said to us, this is how we're going to act with you. And he is among us. And we have also the prophets all the time. We have the divine prophecy inside us. You're asking me who is God? This is the God I know. I have experience with him. It's a different level of connection. After that, I will explain to you also a lot of other things. He created the world. He did a lot of other things. But first of all, something that I can feel with myself. Okay? Is there any more questions, please? Okay.
Everybody's quiet
yes,
today.
Yes, Ale, please. Yes, please.
Raf, may I ask about the same question? Why the God is mentioned together with three names of fathers? Yeah, God of Abraham, God of Yitzchak, and God of Israel.
It's an excellent question. Yes, it's an excellent question. And the answer for that is that each one of them is, I will say, have, I will say, different relation with God. Abraham is the kindness side of God. Isaac is a different way of connecting with God. It's more with the din, with the judgment. And Jacob is the one who is combining both of them together. And each one of them, I will say it like that. Look, if there was a journalist in those days, and one of them will go and try to do an interview with Abraham, and will ask him, how do you see God? Abraham will answer him, I think, what I understand, how I'm feeling God, he have a lot of kindness, and he created the world. He is giving life to everybody. Fair enough. Then he will go, this journalist, after 60 years, and he will go to Isaac and will ask him, how do you see God? God is a judgment here. He is judging everything. And he wants us to, if he's asking us, we will also give our life back to him because he gave it to us for free. It's a different God. And Jacob is managing to combine those two together. So each one of them is giving us a different aspect of the presence of God among us. And only three of them together is bringing us the full presence of God in all the aspects that we have. It's different than to say or to speak about someone, only one person. We're speaking here about three fathers, and each one of them gave us another, I will say, level of relation with God. And we need all of those three together. And this is why we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Rab. So, and then our task is to understand they experience of parents, yes, of fathers, experience of fathers to create a relation with the God.
Yes, this is our mission, and for that we need to learn Genesis in a profound way, not only to read the stories. It's not the stories. The stories is only a cover for something much more profound inside. We did it for a few years, okay? Maybe we need to go back to this also one day. You can see it also on the internet. We have a lot of lessons there about the understanding of Genesis. There is a lot of meaning inside those stories that explain to us the appearance of God in all sorts of ways towards the Hebrew nation and towards the world. And we need to learn Genesis with the Hebrew rabbis and with the, I will say, the explanation of the oral Torah of the sages of Israel to understand this appearance in those three ways, in the differences of them.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Fair enough. The truth is that I need to go, but we had also a bit of time to.
I can keep the Zoom meeting open for a bit if people want to chat. Yeah, we've got.
Okay, I will try not to close it, but it is true what Martina said. Martina, about the connection or the to be part or partnership with the bringing the era of the Messianic of one thing that I must note, okay, and also when you go to the Maimonides and you see that the era of the Messianic is not something miracle that will happen from something, I don't know what. No, it's us, people, human beings, that are bringing the world to the next stage. This is a Messianic time. And we're all part of it now, today. Okay? The appearance of God, we will see this at the end the appearance of God. We will see this on when the Temple Mount will be built up, and we will see the presence of God. But till then, all of us together, we're bringing the world to the next stage. And we're working hard to bring the world to the Messianic era. Okay?
Do you have time for another question?
Yes, please. Let's see if it's short, please. Yes.
Yeah, it will be short. Where is our connection as Noahites to Jews, to Jewish nation? As Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov are not our fathers. Our father is Noah. Is it true or not? So, if it's so, where is our connection historically with the Jewish nation?
It's not a connection. First of all, also Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob came from Noah. Okay? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob came from Noah also. Okay?
Yeah,
from the descendants of Shem. So we're also part of it. So we're all together coming from Noah. Okay? Let's put it like that. The divine presence is basically in the Hebrew nation. And when people are joining the Hebrew nation as Noahite, this is where we are all getting connected with the divine presence. Because all sorts of reasons, we're not learning now Genesis, but because all sorts of reasons, the divine presence concentrated itself in the Hebrew nation to be in this unity of the whole nations. Okay? Not the uniqueness. Now, you can be in your country, in your, I will say, nation, okay, part of this whole world, and the unity is coming through the Hebrew nation. And if you open Isaiah in 56, you will see that he is speaking about those who are joining the Hebrew nation. But we are all together. Our forefather is Adam and Noah.
So you're saying in this way, Noahite is part of Jewishness,
yes.
Not separate. Yes. Because somebody can keep all laws of Noah without being connected to Jewish nation, without reading Torah, without just say, yes, I accept all this, and that's it. I don't have more laws than only these 7.
First of all, you're more than right, but this is where I'm
the Rambam distinguishes. Yeah, he distinguishes between those who just accept it because it's logical, but rather than accept it because It's
I,
part of
I,
Hashem's plan.
I'm sending you a link, okay? Catch
Uh,
the link. Catch the link and learn it. It's a very profound essay that is explaining you can do those things without any relation with Israel or with God, but then you're worshiping your mind.
For me, it's clear. For me, it's very clear. This question is clear. Without Israel, I cannot be Noahide. But how to explain to other people? How to explain?
Read it inside what the link that I sent now. Okay?
Okay.
Take the link that I sent now, open it, and read it there. Learn it again, and then ask me questions about it. Don't hesitate.
Right. Yeah, the Rambam describes the wise of the nations different from the pious of the nations.
I'm sorry, Dan. I need to go, but I'm not going to close this the meeting this time. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Rabbi,
Thank
are
very
you
much.
on for next
Have a
week,
great
Hashem willing?
Yes, next week. Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for today's class. I will close the broadcast on the social media pages, but I'll keep the Zoom room open if anybody wants to continue to chat. So on that note, till next week, we'll be back with part 7. For those of you listening on YouTube and Facebook, I was scheduled to do our Working Together series with Rabbi Ingber at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, but Rabbi Ingber messaged me that he's not well today, so he's taking today off, and that's good because it gives me a break because I was scheduled for 12 hours straight here, and so I get a little bit of a reprieve until my next session. I will be broadcasting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the Noahide Path with Rabbi Moshe Shulman. So looking forward to that if you want to join. So till next week, we'll be back with more of our Chavruta sessions with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg. Till then, have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. I'm just ending my broadcast. If you guys want to stay in the Zoom and chit-chat, we can.
Bye.
Hi, Sheila. Sheila's my mother, if anybody wants to know.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, my camera's not working.
Yeah, she's got a conflicting program.